My name is Sherry Bretz. I live in Louisville, Kentucky. I think I sort of had a breakthrough last night, and the wind was howling and spirits were coming to my home, and the spirit world was communicating with me. I don't play around with the spirit world, but I realized the hideous experiments our government has been doing to try to destroy my soul is connecting us to the spirit world. A few days ago, after the people came and painted over my steps and everything white to cover all the faces that are appearing here that look like Satan, I got new faces out back. They're trying to talk to me. So right where the guest room door is, the steps, there are new faces. To anyone who doesn't know about this kind of stuff, it sounds crazy. So last night when I was praying and praying and praying hard, God was communicating with me, and he let me know all the unholy, unspeakable things that have been done to me over 20 years. He let me know how they had seized my life 20 years ago and did things against my will with space weapons and people sneaking in my home through the occult. They said they've killed me and revived me. I think I've been murdered probably more than once. They were trying to get something to infiltrate me on the other side. So later, when things started happening after years of trauma and mind invasion and destruction of the old me, who they said they murdered, she's no longer here. They said they filled me with a shape-shifting dark entity. But I prayed every day. And when I started for the first time seeing a slit in my eyes in pictures, or like something overlapping my eyes, I hated myself. I wanted God to destroy whatever was in me. And I said, if it kills me, kill me, God. Kill the monster, kill the monster, kill the beast. And I had to really purge myself of any sin. And I had to really hate everything about me before I felt completely free, because God knew my loyalty and devotion to him. Things in our culture let things in. And not only that, our own curiosity. That's why you see the movie Let Us In. People are changing for the worse. They're turning into demons. But worse than that, they're blinded me so bad. All I see is these big black things in my eyes that aren't floaters, and color overpowering my vision. And that's because once they start attacking you with these demons, they destroy every part of you. They used part of my book cover about a holy nun, Sister Alwina, and they put it on something called The Last Exorcist. And that's when I really knew what was behind this. It was like Illuminati, Eli Roth, the top people. But you don't know unspeakable evil, unholy terror, and pain and agony until they put the devil in you or try to infiltrate you. I talked to the only exorcist in the world. He said I wasn't infiltrated. They were trying, but I was too pure to let it happen. He said, Jesus is in me. Jesus is in people who get baptized. That's why you have to say a prayer every day. So last night, whenever I was getting released from Christ, to be able to try to heal from the past, because for 20 years, what this group does is they never let you know you were a victim. So they're always harassing you with men in their group, always trying to proposition you for sex. Now, I refuse, so they put hidden cameras here and tell me how they put new pictures everywhere. They always try to keep you encircled in this circle of evil, of other evil minds that are famous and government and different people, elite, wealthy, so that you always feel like you're hunted and you're trapped. They call me a rabbit sometime because in some of their stories, like one of the writers' books, they use a rabbit to lure a child to be killed by a pedophile and executed over a cliff. That's the kind of group this is. So people don't realize it, but all that prayer was always acknowledged by God. All these years of prayer, God always listened. And so when I finally just totally detached from the cyber world for a few days, and I didn't have the fear of being stalked, and I didn't feel like my mind was controlled by these things in space, God released me, because he's saying, you have to be willing to die for me, Sherry. I mean, they would create head pain. They would threaten murder. they would attack my body all over. They've torn my spine. I've got MRI proof. They're crippling me. They're threatening everything known to man, because the whole thing is they want Satan to take me over. They're damning people. And I know it was Christ that saved me. He took me back yesterday to some of the times when this first happened. My mother had died that year, and they had been attacking my mom beforehand, sending these evil demons here, all these monsters you see in the sky, using all their NASA equipment, using all their stalkers here in this town they call hunters, the Satanists that live here that perform rituals to try to damn people. They were sending them. And so she was suffering the most. They told me later it's because they wanted to get me away from her, because they wanted full control and possession of my mind and body. They want my soul, they said. They said it's a great power, a great light. They said I have so much energy, like telekinesis. I could light up a whole city. And they said I was born with this telekinesis. That's why they send me Stephen King stuff all the time, and Carrie. It's God. It's God through me. And this exorcist says it's not evil, it's Jesus in you. You know, my bloodline, my birth name was St. Clair. I don't know if they think there's some lineage to the St. Clairs. I think it's just maybe we've got some Indian in us, or maybe it's just we were fortunate and blessed by God to have so much godliness in us. But because we have so much, we're so close to God, and we have so much godliness, it makes us enemy of people that don't. People perhaps have never known love. People perhaps that have never been Christian. I don't know, but it's evil. And I have to pray every day, because we're targets. And no matter what city I go to, I'm followed. I bought homes in Vegas. I bought homes, condos in the Caribbean. It doesn't help. So a lovely psychiatrist took an interest in me and had to first rule out that this was nothing mental. He found out I'm perfectly sane, and he realized they were trying to really possess me. So he put me in touch with an exorcist who realizes the forces of evil. And he told me to say the breastplate of Saint Patrick every day, which helps. And also a part of the beginning of the Bible where it says that God is the Word, God, and the Word is in Him, and the Word is truth, and God is the light, and the light of the world will overpower all darkness. He has me say those things. So I say both those two things every day, sometimes twice a day. And it has given me strength you cannot imagine. So since those things are here, I just want to tell you, all these years that they thought that they had me in a mental prison, they were violating me, they were raping me spiritually, they were using weapons to assault me, they were putting cameras here, they were trying to steal my virtue, were trying to steal my mind, they broke my mind. You are nothing to them but a vessel to push the beast and demon in. They are killing you to try to take the whole world over with the demons. The demons are everywhere in people. And they want Satan to eventually get in all of you, and for Satan to just rule the whole world. And the past 20 years that I have suffered, that I had no life, for years they wouldn't let me sleep but 3 hours. For years they invaded my dreams. For years they said they'd kill me with weapons and resuscitate me. My husband was away for a year taking an extra course in college. They said they'd sneak in my home and do things, drug me, knock me out. They're doing these things through secret armies that are building. And through all the terror and the horrible things that happened to me all these years, I felt dark, but then I feel like I had a reawakening, and God let me know that it wasn't my fault. I wasn't willing. And so no matter what they tell me, He just let me know. And He just said, stay away from any of these people. Stay away from the famous people. Stay away from cyber world if they're communicating with you. Stay away from anything that is not of me, Sherry. Stay away. You have your world with me, and you always have from the time you were born. And I love you very much, and it's always been you and me. What they did was torture me to try to pull me away from Christ. Just like they're putting up these space weapons, so they're trying to destroy our receivers, so when we talk to God, we can't understand. They will degrade you. They will devour you. They show me pictures of carnage. They told me how they've got something in my eyeballs that can look out. They draw pictures of the old me where I'm just a body with a little man inside my brain controlling me like a computer. They're trying to take brains and put them in machines. They're trying to take our soul and put it someplace else. They're trying to even take our soul and put it in dead loved ones. They're trying to do all of this. You must pray every day. I want to show you some proof, okay? They've painted my porch steps, you know. I put it on video 5 days before Scott, the detective in this town, died. And they're trying to hide what's here. It's everywhere. And so I've seen them even on the interstate. Those faces on the interstate, and then they white them out. I see them on the rock here. So they came last night when I was suffering the most, and I was talking to God. And all of a sudden, the wind was reacting to my prayers, and God was showing me, and his great empathy and strength. And at that time, the door sounded like it was going to bust open from the wind. And the wind was just letting me know there were spirits in it. And they were with me spiritually, mentally. Those spirits everywhere were communicating at the time I was letting go of this thing. I was just releasing myself by faith in God, total faith in God. And you have to do this. You have to break away. You have to do that. And if you renounce Satan, if you detach from the world, if you detach from the commercialism, if you get away from the hate, if you get away from wicked people, if you get away from controlling people, if you get away from famous people, and you get to the heart of yourself where you can reach God, you can claw your way out and suffer your way out, because there's only sacrifice you make is not a sacrifice, because Jesus already made the sacrifice. All you're doing is releasing yourself to God. So if they destroy me, I'm with God, because God is so with me. And that should be your focus over money, over anything, over luxury, over success. Your focus is with God. God. And if you don't do that, then you are weak, okay? And they will get you. The night my mom died, they tried to send them there. I think they attacked her. I couldn't see it physically, but in my mind, they were trying to make me think they did. Unless they were tricking me, they were showing me that they were attacking her. They could have just been tricking me. But they'll try any mind illusion that works. But the main thing is you have to stay close to God. You have to ask God to come to you and be in you and feel you, and don't let anything touch you, your creator. You have to talk to Jesus. You have to say, God, please forgive me of all sins. Jesus, please forgive me of all sins. You have to tell God to really cleanse you. You have to tell God to make you a good person, to make you a whole person. You have to tell him to not let you sin, to not let you get off the path of righteousness, to always seek the truth, to always seek closeness to him. You have to just say you're sorry for all wrongs you've committed, anything bad you've done to anybody else, any sin, any abuse, jealousy, physical assaults, theft, deception, lying, greed, denial of your true God, all those things, and you have to just repent. I can't push it enough. And when you repent, the light will get in, and you can be with the Lamb, Jesus, and you can feel totally cleansed and whole. I was not strong in the ways of the world, and I was not strong with these people. I was weak. And only through Christ can you be strong and get rid of the darkness, get rid of the temptation, get rid of your wicked side, which is the beast trying to infiltrate you. Get rid of your self-doubt. Get rid of your hatred of yourself. Unless something is in you, then that's okay. But you need more confidence in who you are through God. And you need to see that the beauty in life comes from God. You need to enjoy the pleasures of life that are natural, like the sunlight and everything that in flowers and stuff that are natural. And you need to get away from so much fantasy and so much material that is unnatural. And you need to get back to the heart of things, the way man was thousands of years ago, before any of this technology came to deceive us. God, the devil has used technology to possess people. The devil has used fantasy to deceive people. The devil has used deceivers to deceive people, false prophets. But now you know who God is by looking in yourself and your heart. Examine your conscience. Look within your soul. And when you try to do good, then God will help you. But you have to turn to him. You have to be a total child with total reliance on God. And that's the only way you can be infiltrated by the real God. And you know some master of disguise isn't there. And you don't have to doubt your own vision. You don't have to doubt your own worth. You don't have to turn against your own mind. You know, because when you have God, you know you're one of a kind. He created us all as individuals. You're very unique. You're very special. You're goodly and you're godly and you're capable of anything. You have great potential to do anything. And it comes from above and through love. And when you let love rule you and your universe, you're whole. You know, you don't have to be deceived by all the other things. You really don't. Those things destroy you. Satan destroys you. Satan takes things away from you that God gave to you. Here's some of the faces that came last night when the wind was howling and everything. And I don't know if they're good or evil. You hear the beautiful birds?